Hi there, Libra. Welcome to your August 2024 love reading. This is for singles and couples. It's Sagittarius Yogini. This is a deck I really have to pay attention to what the cards are, because sometimes I did get it wrong. I had to do it over again because I misread the number. Okay. Okay. The heart of the matter is the Five of Wands. I would say when I see this card and I think of people who are single, I think of kind of putting yourself out there again. Putting yourself on the market again. This is a card that can be like stepping into the fray, going into that battle again. But it doesn't have to, it can be a friendly battle. It doesn't have to be, I always say, like the meat market. That was a term they used to use like in the 80s, you know. And if you're coupled, this can be competition within the relationship. So if you're with somebody who is downplaying your achievements, it could be that they are insecure within themselves about what they have accomplished, and so they're not going to be supportive of you. Well, that is a a red flag, and that isn't going to be a relationship that is very healthy, obviously. I mean, that makes sense, that it wouldn't be a very healthy relationship to be a part of. So only you know what this card means to you in that regard. Um, so I'm going to read this card because this is the challenge position. In other words, it's challenging you in some way. The Daughter of Wands is the Page of Wands. And the Page of Wands is communication that is coming from a very positive place. It can be good news. But this doesn't have to be that you're going to receive bad news or anything like that. It can simply mean that if you are someone who is, thinking about dating, you may not have the best attitude towards it. As I stated, you may be coming from some kind of recent split, or in some cases, it's possible you haven't dated in years. In those situations, that could definitely indicate that there was some really traumatic experience that kind of put you off dating altogether. For a Libra person to not pursue relationships, I have to believe that something really traumatic has happened in their past. And it's really about, and so if this is you who is coupled, then it can be a situation of a relationship with communication that is toxic, and therefore it makes it really hard for the two people to understand one another. You're an air sign, so you're supposed to excel in communication. One of the ways that Libra people kind of impede that is by being afraid of being open, straightforward, and so on and so forth. And some Libra people have their Mercury in Scorpio, or Venus in Scorpio, so you may have a natural inclination to not necessarily share your feelings or your opinions openly to begin with. But the point is that this is kind of like something is not really positive. And that is either putting like preconceived notions in your head about what it means to start dating again, or what it means to be in a relationship with someone who is problematic, and you need to discuss certain things because they're kind of festering. Yeah, so that can be there's something about messages or communication that is not flowing very well. What's coming in as the hangman, this can indicate a period of time when you are not really in a particular place. In other words, if you decide to start dating, you just date. You don't necessarily want to be serious about it. So it's kind of like a wait and see type of period. It can also indicate like letting go and letting God, which really means releasing. So if there's apprehension about dating, you kind of let it go, and you leave it up to God what the outcome is going to be. And it's kind of like, putting your ego aside, putting your pride aside. If you're someone who feels like in a vulnerable position because you're starting to date, you don't allow anything that's going on, even if it's things that are in your head, to kind of propel you to do something you're not ready to do. So I really see this as, at least in the near future, that you're kind of taking things as they come and not really putting expectations on things. If you're coupled, it can mean a period of, oh my gosh, I can never think of that word. I always want to say it's like a period of time when, I was going to say like a holding pattern, but that's not really what I mean. I'm just referring to like before a transition, when there might be, like, if you're thinking that you need to like get divorced, you might not take action immediately. And this can be because you feel a sense of wanting to ease into something. The eclipses are in your sign in Aries. Aries is your seventh house of committed partnership. So you have had multiple eclipses in the seventh house of partnership. Even though it's the solar eclipse is a powerful new moon and we think of new beginnings, it can just bring change as a whole to the person's life. And in this case, to your relationship sector. So the hangman can be a period of time when it seems like nothing is happening, but it's a transitional period. The outcome, Six of Wands. This is a card of taking your bow, receiving recognition. This is a card connected to Leo. We are in Leo season right now. And this is all about attracting someone to you who values you, who sees the good in you. If you have been in a relationship with someone where it's contentious, and maybe you're trying to keep the peace, which I think is kind of a mistake, because, and not that you should be at each other's throats, but I'm saying that keeping the peace in a toxic situation is, being codependent, because you have to honor yourself. And if that other person is unwilling to cooperate and is behaving as if you're the problem, it's all about you, then it doesn't make any sense to kind of placate them, because they're not really honest brokers. They're blaming you for everything. This is about a person who upholds the good in you, doesn't like find your weakness and then puts it on full blast. And the universe can provide that person to you, but you have to make the space for it by doing your part and weeding out the relationships or the primary relationship if it doesn't advance you spiritually, psychologically. If it's actually a drain on you spiritually, psychologically, then why are you there? And if you're single, this is possible for you. What the Six of Wands represents, it's not pie in the sky. It's actually possible that you can have somebody who sees the good in you. That doesn't mean that they don't see that you have flaws, that you are not perfect, but they are not hyper-focused on your flaws. Okay? So that's what I have for you, Libra. I find that my love tarot readings for YouTube are a bit different. They're more philosophical. And I think that there's a place for that. And I hope that you can see it. If you would like a private reading with me, you can check the information below. Thanks for watching. Bye.